Hey y'all, welcome back to the Chalk Sports Podcast, and today we are in for a good one. We are talking about a very nice topic, the NFL Draft. We're going to go over news for the NFL, and then we're going to go over the draft. And let's just get right into it.
So top 30 first?
No, we're going to Jags trade.
Okay.
Jags trade Christian Kirk for a 7th rounder
to the Texans.
Which
I think is a great move.
I think it's a crazy cheap price.
Yes, I agree too. For Christian Kirk, they were about to release him too, and you're getting something out of it. I think that's the perfect.
I think it was a win-win for both sides.
Yes, I completely
Christian
agree.
Kirk is a great player.
Mm-hmm. Especially for the Texans in an absence of Tank Dell too.
Yeah, he might be gone for a little bit.
He might be gone for the whole season apparently.
Whoa.
Which is
That's
big.
not good.
Which is big.
I hate that.
Yeah, I think I saw it was like he tore everything in his knee.
Yeah,
so
he shattered his knee. It's just like I feel like Christian Kirk is so good, but I think the trade is fair. I think something had to happen in Jacksonville to turn them around, and without Trent Baalke, they're trying to make something happen, and I think that's a good move.
Mm-hmm. I agree, and there's a lot of new coaching staff coming in Jacksonville too, so maybe it's just time for a new era. But I still think Jacksonville should have got more out of this trade.
I don't think they could have, because I think the Bengals could have said, "We'll get him in the free agency then."
Yeah,
and the Jags said, "Oh crap. Well, we'll take the 7th rounder." So the next one, the Bengals are letting Trey Henderson look for a trade.
See, this isn't the end of the world for the Bengals.
It's a pretty big deal.
No, but it's still a pretty big deal. I'm not gonna count that out. It's still a pretty big deal, but I still think there's better options for the Bengals, and the Bengals can spend the money if they really need to.
Oh, the Bengals will make it back, but he led the league in sacks this year with 17.5. That is not a dude you want to lose when your defense is god awful.
Yeah, your defense is already known to be bad. Yeah, I still think the Bengals know what they're doing. This is not something where
this will not affect them.
Yeah, this is not something where it's like a bad organization making bad moves. I generally think the Bengals know what they're doing.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Sure. Okay, I have the Bears getting 2 offensive tackles, Joe Thuney and Jonah Jackson for a 4th and a 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Thuney is a talented tackle he played on the Chiefs for like 13 years. He's been good. I don't know why the Chiefs traded him after doing what they did in the Super Bowl. On the other hand, Jonah Jackson is he's an alright tackle. I don't think he was graded very high on PFF scales. He's kind of just he was kind of there. Yeah, he's better than they had before. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's good pickups for the Bears. There's nothing I can say wrong about what the Bears just did, especially knowing the type of offensive lineman that Joe Thuney is, and it's just
Jonah was 40th in overall grade.
Yeah,
that's all right.
An average
67.5, which is 40th overall.
Yeah, which is not bad.
Yeah, it's not good. He hasn't allowed a penalty or a block or sack to it. Actually, he's pretty decent for a guard.
Yeah, it's honestly like for the Bears, I really think this is a step in the right direction, especially for protecting Caleb Williams and protecting these guys that have dealt with terrible O-line.
Bad.
Yes.
They have been 8 alive, and Joe Thuney is 12th.
Yeah, which is amazing.
And he's 5th in pass block, which is perfect for what the Bears need in general.
Yeah, the Bears just need a new team.
They need talent. They need they have the offensive talent, but offensive line is so crucial nowadays that it'll kill you. We got one more before the Seahawks. We got Max Crosby getting paid.
Holy, what a contract!
Highest paid non-quarterback, and well deserved. Really well deserved. I would have loved to see him on the Niners. I would have loved to see him anywhere else so you can get some good teams play. But I mean, they're trying to build something.
Yeah, and I really think they're gonna put this defense around Max Crosby
for like years to come. You can't pay someone like $300 million and then not build the offense around. I think that's what he made. $300 million.
It was up there. It was
a lot.
It was insane amount of money.
And I mean, he's setting the new bar, where now these tackles will these edges will be like, hey, I want the same amount of money. And people say,
that's what the running backs need to do. Running backs have been getting paid
that's what
so little.
Saquon just got a big contract.
The Saquon set that market again.
Oh, so Max Crosby to be made $106.5 million, 3 years,
which is $30 million a year. Just about 37 maybe, 36.
And so well deserved.
Yes. Honestly, if he keeps at this pace for the next 5 years, it's like inconsiderate not to say he's a Hall of Famer easily.
Oh,
honestly, I think if he retired now, he might get in after like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
he's not like a first year Hall of Famer.
Well, 4 or 5 years that would be.
I'm saying like
I got you.
Yeah, like after he's eligible.
People saying like first ballot is so weird to me because it's kind of like depending on where you are, who you're up against. Like, oh, he's not a first ballot talent. Well, what is he then?
Yeah, it's just
because it's kind of random. I mean, if you're in the same class as Drew Brees or Tom Brady, you're probably gonna be a second ballot guy. Even if I think next year is Drew Brees's. So Eli Manning will be a third ballot because he ain't gonna make it next year because they only put one in.
You know, it's funny though. I saw a story about that, and it's like Eli Manning is the year after Drew Brees.
Yeah,
and he might get into the Hall of Fame because the next couple of years are so bland.
Well, because of Drew Brees, Tom Brady, and because of that big gap.
There's no talent in between where you can be like, oh, this is a
first ballot or
this is a clear Hall of Famer.
It'll be fun.
It definitely is.
So we'll get on to it. I'll just let you cook. So I'll step back, ISO.
You know, like as a kid, you know, you never really watch football fully as a kid. Like you'll know the players here and there. You'll watch it like on TV, but you won't know about football. You know.
Yeah.
So like when DK Metcalf gets drafted to the Seahawks, you know, I'm kind of excited because this is a big time.
Yeah, Ole Miss.
Everybody remembers that picture of him and AJ Brown where it's two.
Like
the one I think they're in a gym or something where you're like, oh,
no, they're on a subway.
They're in a subway.
I think so.
Bro, everybody knows that one picture of DK Metcalf, and it's with AJ. Is it AJ Brown?
I think so.
It's DK Metcalf and AJ Brown where it's just like, you're like, this is a big dude, you know, and for him to move as fast as he did. He even went to the, like, I think it was something.
Oh, it was the weight room.
Yes, and they're, like, you see how big they are? You know
I always respected DK.
And it's just, you're like, wow, this is something. And that DK started my true love for, like, football. I was a Seahawks fan forever, but that DK was the one that got me. Because he was also flashy, you know? He was a little cocky, little mix of everything. And it's just,
he was coming out of Ole Miss. He was the best of the best.
Yes.
Period.
And watching him grow throughout the years has been amazing too. From starting off as, you know, like, oh yeah, he's a pretty decent wide receiver to now everybody's consensus saying he's top 10. And knowing that not just that era is coming to a close, but the Tyler Lockett era is coming to a close.
A decade.
It really does hurt to see, and it's just, as a Seahawks fan, you just wonder why. Like, I also wondered why 2 or 3 years ago, I think it was 3 years ago now, the same thing happened 2 or 3 years ago. We lost Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner in the same day. And it's just like, you really wonder as an organization, what are you doing? But then again,
it'll be good for your organization.
Yeah.
But
we just have to get something good out of the DK trade. Like,
they're asking for a first and a third.
And that is what we need, honestly.
You talked like he's about to die. Like,
I know, but it's just like,
it's rough.
This man has been our organization without Lockett. So we genuinely had a top 3 wide receiver room in the NFL
this year. Yes, I was saying that from the start.
With Lockett, DK Metcalf, and Jackson Smith and Jigba, there's no way you're looking at these 3 and being like, oh, that's a bad wide receiver trio.
Poor JSN.
And now it's just JSN. You got Jake Bobo.
Hey, bro, don't hate on Jake Bobo.
No, Jake Bobo, I'm not gonna lie, I love Jake Bobo.
He's sneaky good,
but it's not the talent of DK Metcalf.
No, nobody can compare to DK.
And Tyler Lockett. And now we have 4 wide receivers right now on our depth chart. I think if you search that up, and it should be like Jake Bobo. I'm blanking right now. I know John Reese Plumlee, the quarterback from UCF in 2023. Is our wide receivers, one of our wide receivers right now, and it's just
bad.
It's really insane to look at, and you're just wondering what's the next steps. Hopefully,
trade DK to the Niners for.
If there's any shot DK stays, which at this point there's really not.
He's not going to the Niners, so you.
No, that's that. I'm happy. I'm happy about that, and I know you're sad, but honestly, I
would love DK. I'm actually just so happy he's moving. John Reese Plumlee, by the way.
Yeah, John Reese Plumlee.
Yeah, I'm just happy he's gone. Thank God, bro, because no one could guard him on the Niners.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not just him we're missing. We're also missing the double coverage he will pull. He needed two. Yeah, he needed two half of these plays, which would leave our smaller receivers like JSN and Jake Boat, like these guys like just wide open because not wide open necessarily, but.
So are you buying JSN stock or selling?
Oh, buying 100%.
You think JSN will get better?
Yes, I think
without DK.
Name a better player on the offense than JSN right now.
Kenneth
Walker. Okay.
But I mean, it's not that. It's more of the attention DK brought. It feels like it'll kind of just shoot him down.
It definitely might a little bit, but
I don't think he'll do what he did this season again because of no DK.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have the season that he had last season this season.
Yeah.
But I think this season will definitely help him grow 100%.
And I feel like that's what teams are kind of slacking on lately, where especially in the NFC West apparently. And because we keep trading these like studded great double team level wide receivers and then expecting the guy who did good under them to do well. Yeah. Like I don't know if Puka will be as good as he was with Cooper Kupp.
I really don't think he will either.
Because I think I love Puka. I've been saying Puka since Puka was a rookie. I had Puka in my fantasy draft.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that Puka will be able to translate well without Cooper Kupp. Because Cooper Kupp is kind of the basis. Cooper Kupp starts it. And then Puka gets open from the coverage that Cooper tears. It's such a hard combo of names. It'll probably be the same with DK and JSN, where JSN punishes a lot of the holes DK gives, and then without him, what is there really left in the Seahawks?
The Seahawks, I mean,
Evan Ingram got dropped too.
Evan Ingram, okay, that's not
that sucks.
Yeah,
I like Evan Ingram.
Yeah, but I think someone will pick him up too.
He's a wide receiver at quarterback or tight end.
Yeah. And I remember when the Giants had him. That was an era.
He's still a freak.
Yeah.
There was a few catches he made this week that were crazy.
Yeah. And honestly, for me, the Seahawks, I'm just looking at what does the future hold, because we had a decent season last season. We went 10-7.
Yeah,
I think which is not terrible at all.
No, you almost made the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There are teams that made the playoffs that were 10-7, which, I mean, it just comes down.
Imagine losing to the Giants.
Like, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I really can't imagine that. Like, if the Seahawks really lost to the Giants, that would be a terrible day.
They did.
It was
to make the playoffs. All right, so
I think that was like mid-season. I think
that was like the big winner. That was the big loss, though.
Yeah, that was the one loss. That if I could take back, I definitely would.
Well, yeah, if it was possible. So Niners trade Debo for a fifth, and talk about end of an era.
Yeah, that's
my first football game was the 2019 NFC Championship, and that team's basically gone.
Yeah, no,
we have Bosa left from that team.
So I think there's really
there's not a lot left because it was Jimmy G, it was Raheem Mostert, and it was Debo, and E-Man, Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah,
and it just is weird to see because, like you said, it's an end of an era, but it's also kind of not. I'm not mad at it.
No, not at all.
I think we needed to get rid of Debo. He's a little on the heftier side. And he's kind of was bringing us down to where we ran exclusively through him, and without him, we were nothing. Yeah, Debo had 49 yards in that game.
Yeah.
With a long of 30. Yeah, so I witnessed that. And I witnessed the 220 Raheem Mostert run. And the Debo 43-yarder. Like, all those are, like, forever ingrained in my memory. It just sucks to see, but at the same time, it's like, how did we get a fifth-rounder for him? He dropped 50% of his passes. How do you let that... You can't drop that many passes and be a star-studded wide receiver.
At a certain point, you're just paying for name value.
Yeah.
Like, this guy still has insane name value.
Oh, 100%.
To the average person. if you say Deebo Samuel, like, oh, that's a great wide receiver.
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to go off of just one season, especially the most recent one, saying he's a bad wide receiver. And honestly, I don't think he's a bad wide receiver. Everybody has an off season here and there, which can be dealt with.
I think he's gained a lot. He's been very out of shape recently.
Yeah, and I mean,
I question where his head's at sometimes. Because you can't catch the ball 90% of the time. You can't catch the ball 90% of the time. You're starting to get out of shape, which was your biggest quality, was I will catch the ball and run over everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He still was doing that to a solid extent, but then you start getting shamed, and then you say you're going to lock in and then proceed to drop the next pass that you got. It's like, it doesn't carry over well.
No, it definitely doesn't. And honestly, for a guy like Deebo, you just got to... it's really not that big of a loss. I really feel like the 49ers in 2 years are going to be back in the...
Oh, we'll be back to normal, but
yeah.
Hopefully at least. So, last news piece. Joey Bosa was released. And I'm bringing this up for very specific reasons. Coincidentally following right after the Niners segment, we have a new $17 million to spend. Joey Bosa and Nick Bosa.
See, that would be nice, but that
sounds a little sexy. I like that.
That's never happening.
That's never happening. It's happening.
That's never happening.
It's gonna happen. I feel like Bosa would take a cut. Joey would take a cut. And heck, maybe Nick would take a cut.
I think they both.
I think they'd take a cut to play together, along with a championship contending team every year. The only problem is paying Brock, but we already set the money down at $45 million. I doubt it gets higher than that.
Honestly, for me, Brock Purdy shouldn't be getting paid more.
Oh, he better not make more than $45 million.
No, if he makes more than
30, if he makes 40,
if he makes 30, I'll be like,
set was $45 million.
I
don't know what percentage of that is the NFL salary cap. I think it's like, I don't think it's a ton. NFL salary cap. I don't know what it is at, but it just went up. And I mean, I don't know.
Crazy. Do you think the Patriots are going to make any big moves though?
I didn't even know they had this much cap space.
That's what I'm saying. $125 million.
I think the team that will make the most cap space moves is the Chargers. They're second place with 90,000. It's a lot to work with, and I'm not too worried. I think they're a very talented team in that regard.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Divided by 45. 1, 2, 3. That's a rough at. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I don't know. I don't know how to do math right now. Anyways.
No, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they're overpaying a little bit, but I think he is talented and he could be worth keeping.
I think he could be worth keeping. I just don't see you building a franchise around him though. Around Brock.
That's a bit outlandish.
Around Brock Purdy.
Brock, when healthy, this season he was very hurt. So this season's kind of a wash.
Yeah.
It's not like Deebo where you can be like, oh, he was hurt. Deebo was not really hurt this season. He might have had one injury, but it was early and it wasn't that much.
Yeah.
Brock his shoulder was not attached.
And it's just, I really think he's one of the more overrated QBs. I'm not
overrated.
I'm not doing this out of Seahawks hate, but I think he's one of the more overrated QBs.
At this point, I think he's underrated. Based off the hate he gets?
Okay, the hate he gets is kind of crazy, but some of it really no hate is deserved.
He's top 15 at least.
Yeah, but like in the bottom.
He might 13, be like 14, 13th. 13th, I'd say. I'd say 13th is fair.
Okay, like what 12 would you say would better?
Oh, you're gonna make me list 12 that quarterbacks.
Like, let's go through these QBs. Okay, let's just see this.
Patrick Mahomes, obviously.
Okay, Patrick Mahomes.
Joe Burrow,
Josh Allen,
Lamar,
Jalen.
I think Jared Goff,
I agree.
Stafford, yeah.
Stafford,
I'd say.
Okay, let's see this.
And then past that, I mean, he was 10th in passing yards with 2 less games played than everybody but Mahomes. That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 games less than everybody else. And he threw 30,000, which is 3,000, which is
not bad at all.
No, and he threw 94 without a shoulder. I was there for that game. He was not 100%.
Freezing.
Yeah, it was awesome. I loved it so much. It was like it's the same thing when he came back from Cleveland. We went to Cleveland, and he threw 2 picks, threw for like 84 yards or something god awful. I can't remember the exact stats, but I remember Niners fans saying, "Oh, we need to get rid of Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's the problem. Brock Purdy this, Brock Purdy that. Brock Purdy is everything wrong with the 49ers." And then, like, we really thought about it, and we're like, what is wrong with Brock Purdy? Like, he was concussed in that game, by the way. That's what kind of...
okay, I remember this game.
I kind of reflected on that, where it was the 19-24 game. And he got hit really hard. And he fell, and he kind of sat there for a minute, and then got up, and he threw 125 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He threw the game tying. He threw the pick that led them to the field goal. Mm-hmm. And then Moody missed the last kick. That's where the Moody that's where Moody started to suck.
That was I remember this so clearly.
Yeah.
But then I just still don't see Brock Purdy as this guy where...
What, he can lead a team to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, like, I just don't...
We saw that. That literally happened.
No, but I'm saying, at this point... Okay, but then again, you also have to remember the team that you had, you know? It's not this...
What was... We had Debo.
Yeah, Ayuk
we still have, but we're looking
to... I think we're looking to trade him. Either.
I think we're looking to trade him. Or teams are interested or something.
Yeah, teams are definitely interested.
If teams are interested, I'm willing to trade him for a first and a solid wide receiver. I would trust Ricky Pearsall, George Kittle, and a draft. I would trust Ricky Pearsall, George Kittle, and maybe even, like, if you could get a first rounder for Ayuk.
I think you can.
Luther Burden, Matthew Golden. There's so many different people that you could use to get a replacement for Ayuk, and then your team is young as hell. If you get a first rounder, you'll have 2 first rounders. Then you can go tight end, wide receiver, and then you'll have a tight end developing under Kittle, and then a fully young
wide receiver core, yeah,
and quarterback. And running back is pretty young. We have some depth there. We always have depth there.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of what can we do with it. I think that's all for news, though.
Yeah.
And then I think we're going to come right back. We'll see y'all in a little bit. I want to double check the audio.